Welcome to our fellow leadership enthusiasts in EDU7210. My name is Mike, and I'll be starting our presentation for this project. The rest of the team will join throughout the presentation. So let me begin by introducing our team members. Our team members are Rochelle A, Dipu Patel-Junankar, Brian Salerno, Mike Warner. This team diversity in education experience provides a rich discussion environment as we explored our problem of practice. Applying almost 90 years of combined experience in varying educational industries, we considered the systemic effects of a large leadership change on an organization and explored strategies for leading teams through this organizational transition. Organizational change is endemic, natural, and ongoing, and leadership is the process enacted to bring about change to achieve organizational success. Organizational changes typically require ongoing and continued strong support from employees for change implementation to be successful. As organizations are assigning more responsibilities to teams, understanding team leadership behaviors ensures that the mission and vision of the organization is achieved. Therefore, employee commitment to team membership plays a significant role in organizational success. During turbulent organizational change, employees' reactions to and support for change are likely to evolve according to how leaders approach the change. In this presentation, we'll analyze the challenge of leadership teams through periods of organizational turmoil and instability and identify leadership behaviors to navigate these changes. We'll use the Hersey-Blanchard situational leadership model to search for ways to help leaders and their teams ease their way through these tumultuous transitions. Together, we'll explore the problem of practice and frame the issues and challenges faced by large-scale, multi-level changes in leadership. To help bring this more clarity, we'll present a field study and use this as a way to relate the theoretical framework in a practical manner. Once we've identified the problem and a method to resolve the issue, we'll review a set of warranted actions, ways to use that framework, and resolve the problems used by the gap in leadership. These are very real ways to resolve the problem of practice and can be applied to similar leadership situations.
Leading and supporting dynamic and diverse teams can be challenging even when organizations are healthy and striving. However, challenges of team leadership grow exponentially during times of organizational turmoil and instability. Our problem of practice focuses on the intricacies of leading teams during times of major organizational upheaval caused by the turnover of C-level, senior organizational leaders such as CEOs or university presidents. Turnover of top organizational leaders often results in uncertainty about the future of the organization's vision, mission, and strategic plan. This uncertainty may influence an interim leader's ability and willingness to make critical decisions and often results in trickle-down turnover of other divisional leaders. At such times, team members throughout the organization may demonstrate feelings of uncertainty, anxiety, and confusion. This organizational anxiety may result in staff retention and morale issues. It is incumbent upon team leaders to ensure that their team members feel supported, productive, and valued. As a team, we will seek to identify theoretical frameworks that support the establishment of best practice techniques that can be utilized to lead teams through times of significant organizational change resulting from instability at the very top of the organization. University X is a small, highly ranked research university in the Northeast region of the United States. The university has recently experienced a significant amount of turnover among senior leaders. In the last 5 to 6 years, the university has had 4 different presidents, 4 different provosts, a multi-year extended vacancy for the Vice President of Human Resources, a multi-year vacancy for the Vice President of Communication, and the recent departure of the Chief Information Officer and Head Librarian. University X has utilized multiple interim incumbents to fill positions while national searches take place. During this time of leadership turmoil and transition, interim leaders have focused attention primarily on maintaining balanced budgets. Deans and divisional directors have been unable to innovate or invest in new initiatives due to the unwillingness of interim leaders to make significant changes or decisions until senior leadership positions have been filled. Additionally, daily operational responsibilities are hindered as a result of this hesitation to invest too deeply in managerial tasks until steady leadership is secured. Throughout this transitional period, anxiety among frontline staff and faculty has escalated as uncertainty about the strategic direction and identity of the university has taken hold. The unwillingness or inability of interim leaders to make significant strategic investments along with daily business decisions has resulted in a stagnation of wages, limited upward mobility, and a reduction in energy and motivation system-wide. Many lower-level positions have also been left unfilled as divisions and departments are unable to determine how best to invest their own budgets given the lack of strategic direction. Divisional managers acting as team leaders are faced with the significant challenge of retaining staff and providing a sense of vision and stability for their teams. Little guidance has been provided to these division managers regarding strategies to lead their teams through the repeated transitions and changes. As a result, some quality frontline staff are beginning to seek out more stable employment opportunities. In an effort to retain valuable employees and to ensure the stability of frontline associates, the deans and divisional directors and team leaders are seeking leadership and management strategies. Through the application of the Hersey-Blanchard model of leadership, the deans and directors hope to provide leadership stability to their teams by evaluating the maturity level of the employees to align leadership behaviors which support and motivate personnel through this turbulent transition.
Hello, this is Rochelle, and I'm going to present our theoretical framework for this project. Organizations are increasingly utilizing team models as the functional organizational unit and rely on a variety of team constructs to achieve the mission of the organization. Whether the team is formal, informal, self-directed, or managed by one identified leader, leadership behaviors will emerge and should be adapted to the needs of the team at that time. Because organizational environments are affected by numerous internal and external events, effective leadership behavior is widely diversified and dependent upon the situation. Therefore, the situational approach is arguably the most effective leadership strategy when guiding teams through major change. Because of the fluctuations in the internal and external environment at University X and the system-wide reactions to these events, we have chosen to view our problem of practice through the lens of the Hersey-Blanchard situational leadership model. Many researchers have suggested that organizations are emerging and evolving with regard to team and leadership behaviors, identifying leadership as a process and suggesting that leaders must be adaptive and fluid in order to assist the team in achieving identified goals. Contingency leadership theory supports this team leadership construct and considers how leadership behavior adapts from one situation to the next. Situational leadership evolved from contingency theory and focuses closely on identifying specific follower task behaviors, then aligning leadership behavior which most appropriately manages completion of that task. The Hersey-Blanchard situational leadership model relies on the intersection of two foundational dimensions, leadership style and follower readiness. Leaders analyze their style and approach to leadership along a continuum of relational and task behaviors. Based on their location on this spectrum, they would be classified into one of four leadership styles: telling, selling, participating, and delegating. Similarly, the followers are rated along a spectrum of their willingness and ability.
Telling. The leader provides clear instructions and specific direction. This style is best matched with a low follower readiness level. Selling. The leader encourages two-way communication and helps build confidence and motivation on the part of the employee. Although the leader still has responsibility and controls decision-making, selling style is best matched with a moderate follower readiness level. Participating. With this style, the leader and followers share decision-making and no longer need or expect the relationship to be directive. Participating style is best matched with a moderate follower readiness level. Delegating. This style is appropriate for leaders whose followers are ready to accomplish a particular task and are both competent and motivated to take full responsibility. Delegating style is best matched with a high follower readiness level.
The model helps leaders identify the appropriate leadership style to apply to the various levels of follower readiness. The basic tenet of this model suggests that various combinations of behaviors, depending on the task and the specific situation, are the key components to strong leadership behavior. Applying the concepts of the Hersey-Blanchard situational leadership model provides an opportunity to view the phenomenon at University X based on the current culture of change, and modify leadership behaviors as needed to effectively lead the various teams through this transitional period. Currently, the various frontline teams at University X, given their anxiety regarding the organizational leadership uncertainty, are in an able but unwilling posture as they navigate through this time of systemic transition. Given the lack of strategic direction at various levels, these teams are hesitant to take any action. Rather, many are considering other opportunities which would negatively impact the success of the university. The leadership of University X needs to enact focused leadership strategies to identify the most effective leadership behaviors based on employee readiness to change by engaging in the warranted actions which will be discussed next. The deans and divisional leaders will then be able to shift from a telling leadership approach to the supporting level described by Hersey-Blanchard, and eventually empowering followers to commit to the changes and to take positive action, reflecting higher level delegating leadership behaviors.
There are a number of warranted actions grounded in organizational change theory and other evidence-based practices that can be enacted to remedy the issues and potentially prevent further damage and disruption to this otherwise healthy organization. Based on the evidence and research presented and contextualizing the phenomenon through the Hersey-Blanchard lens, we propose the following actions to address the challenges associated with the changes at University X. Adjusting the organizational lens to focus on new strategies by forming new goals and vision for the teams can truly reinvigorate the culture. Engaging teams at all levels allows for the building of trust and transparency of leadership. As Hersey-Blanchard's model states, taking into account maturity levels and the individuals making up the team will allow more robust goals to be realized. An assumption proven by Novak and Bratanov is that selling, the first of the Hersey-Blanchard behavior, has the highest score in terms of being able to create a style where building a relationship will lead to the best and fastest achievement of an organization's goals. A critical team leadership function is to define the mission of the team, aligned with the goals and vision of the overall organization. Because University X is experiencing sweeping leadership change at the highest organizational levels, the commitment to the organizational mission is becoming lean. Team members are losing faith in the organization. They are demotivated and unsure about the future of University X. Shin et al. State that leaders should provide employees with a clear vision by communicating the reasons for the change and the expected benefits. The mission and vision of the team should be clear, compelling, challenging, and shared among team members, and clarify task assignments based on team member behavior readiness, according to the Hersey-Blanchard model. It is recommended that the deans and divisional directors at University X establish team meetings and create social experiences where the teams can begin the process of redefining their team vision and mission, establish team expectations, and develop a strategic implementation plan for tasks to be accomplished. This process will provide the opportunity for sense-making, helping teams understand the effect of the organizational changes, interpreting how the changes affect the team, and managing how this affects team functioning to reduce chaos. Additionally, team leaders will identify behavior and task readiness of the team members and align their leadership behaviors accordingly. When people feel urgency and are empowered to act, they can easily charge ahead on all fronts. As is evident from our problem of practice, employees feel the sense of urgency, and as an organization, harnessing this sense of urgency will assist in furthering the vision of the organization. By delegating the implementation of the vision to division leaders and frontline staff, and empowering those teams to participate in redefining vision, senior leaders are investing in successful organizational change. One of the more difficult tasks when leading teams through large-scale change is maintaining clear communication and transparency of process. Establishment of a comprehensive communication strategy to engage the organizational community in an open dialogue about leadership changes and institutional direction provides an opportunity to improve communication system-wide. According to Cotter and Cohen, when employees are allowed to ask questions and the leadership responds confidently and quickly without acting defensive, feelings of fear, anger, distrust, and pessimism begin to shrink. A feeling of relief grows, optimism that the changes are good, and faith in the future grow. The Hersey-Blanchard model encourages transparency by the use of S1 to S4 behavior. At University X, this form of leadership will allow employees to feel vested in their work and therefore their division, department, and ultimately the organization. Through the use of increased and open communication within the team, we give them a voice. Employees need to see that their managers make them feel fully informed by providing sufficient and sincere explanations about the change. By utilizing the S1 to S4 behavior types, as the Hersey-Blanchard model illustrates, transparency and communication may improve for all team members, leading to increased employee commitment to the changes over time. To address the increased sense of concern and worry among the team members, we suggest that the organization establish a higher level of information sharing, resulting in team members becoming part of the ongoing decision-making process, rather than merely as receivers of decisions. If we take to heart the concept that leading is a process, we can see that conclusion through communications is an important step in assuring the group and returning them to harmony. Shin et al. Discuss this concept of informational justice and suggest that shared perception of informational justice will lead to employee commitment and change over time.
Leadership is recursive. A cycle develops. As we've seen, a stronger norm of making the right kind of promotion decision leads to better advancement choices, which leads to those who embrace this new cultural feeling more empowered, which leads to more of the right kind of behavior, which leads to continuing or better business success, which leads to a more ingrained set of new norms, which leads to the right kinds of advancement decisions, and so on. Leadership as a process mimics this cycle, requiring leaders to be flexible and adaptable as they lead changes through organizational change. While there are numerous leadership theories and models through which to view phenomena, the Hershey-Blanchard concept of situational leadership provides a team leaders at University X with strategies to lead their teams through those leadership changes. With the top-tier leadership roles in turmoil, team leaders in the field are seeking ways to motivate their teams, meet ongoing goals, continue to achieve organizational strategies. By identifying and understanding subordinate behaviors and applying the appropriate leadership style, the teams will operate more effectively over time with more employee engagement. We hope that you found this presentation helpful and invite you to check out the references we used in this project. Thank you.